you help me organize this lovely group? Okay, we're lining up.
This up?
Okay, you're speaking, so you need to be close to here. Do you think, do we need to cram or?
Yeah, come in closer.
You have the run of show? Okay, I'll leave it up here. Maybe I won't leave it up here. She's always. Don't forget that you need to be in this line also. And then the councilwoman also, so let's give her 1 second. Oh, and Steve Luxton. Perfect. Should I wait for her? Should I go? You can go. I'm going to give her 1 second. Oh, well, it's perfect. Just a couple of stragglers here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, great. Good morning. Welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Emily Shapira. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Energy Authority. As most of you in this room probably know, PEA was created 8 years ago to support the city on energy, affordability, and sustainability. 2 years ago, with the leadership of Council President Clarke, we launched the Philadelphia Energy Campaign, a $1 billion initiative over the course of 10 years to invest in energy efficiency and clean energy projects for city buildings, schools, affordable housing, and small businesses. We'll create 10,000 jobs through the campaign. In year one, we helped launch $53 million in projects, creating 225 jobs. As these clean energy jobs are created, it's critical that Philadelphians are prepared to take them. That's why we are thrilled to be here today to celebrate a huge win for the campaign and our city's young people. The Philadelphia Energy Authority has been selected for an award from the U.S. Department of Energy for $1.25 million to dramatically expand our solar training program. With this funding, PEA, in partnership with the school district's Green Futures Sustainability Program, will establish the nation's first 3-year program of study in clean energy for high school CTE or career and technical education students. Students will ultimately be able to opt into the program in 10th grade and will be prepared for careers in clean energy and energy efficiency, or to move forward with an apprenticeship in the building trades. Once the program of study is approved by the state, it will unlock ongoing state funding for any district in the Commonwealth that wants to offer the program. Over the 3 years of the grant, we will train 100 students in Philadelphia. Today, I'm very grateful to be joined by many of our partners, allies, and friends. I'd like to recognize the leadership of Council President Clarke, Councilman Derek Green, Councilwoman Reynolds Brown, and Councilman Mark Squilla. We're also joined by Danielle Floyd, COO at the school district, Christine Knapp, Director of Sustainability for the city. Our partners in this grant, is Farah here? Oh, there you are, great. Farah Jimenez, CEO at the Philadelphia Education Fund, Scott Emmerich, Executive Director at Youth Build Philly, Steve Luxton, Executive Director at the Energy Coordinating Agency, Spencer Wright, Chief Education Officer at Solar States, our instruction partner. And I'd also like to recognize PEA's solar manager, Laura Rigel, who has really led the charge to get this grant. Great job, Laura. Thanks to the PEA board for your support. I think we have a few members here. Mitchell Swan, Adam Agalico, thank you so much for coming. And thanks to Charles Lewis and Megan Garner from the school district for all of your hard work. We would not have been able to get this program started without you. Tony Gay, thank you for being here, and Ramona Risco-Benson from PICO, whose support and funding really helped us get this program off the ground. They really seeded it and helped us develop it in a way that's allowed us to get this grant. And I'd also like to mention Nancy Peters of the Philadelphia Education Fund and Walt Yakubowski from ECA. Thanks everyone for being here, and I will end here and hand it over to Council President Clarke.
Good morning. Thank you, Emily. As always, a great job. How's everybody doing this morning? Good day? Good day. So Emily referenced around 8-9 years ago this whole notion of creating an energy authority, and I just want to, for the record, this is what happened. We heard that deregulation was moving towards, and I got to be honest with you, I'm the politician, right? There's certain stuff you do. But deregulation, I'm hearing that, I'm saying, that sounds like somebody's trying to take something away from us, right? So I got to tell you, I didn't know a whole lot about the whole energy thing and all of the activities and sustainability, on the margins. But I said, well, we got to figure out a way to put ourselves in a position to make sure that it doesn't impact us in a negative way. So one of our tech staff members looked and says, oh, this municipals authority and all these other activities that were created in years past that allowed us to go outside of the box of the traditional government. And we talked about, well, let's create this energy authority. So we put together some documents, and it was all about trying to figure out a way to combat what we believe to be the negative aspects of deregulation. And we created it, right? Little did I know we would end up here talking about this, right? We had like no idea we would be talking about this and creating these awesome programs. So I just want to say how excited we are, members of council, members of the government, and being able to participate while we may have initiated this in terms of legislation moving forward. The simple reality is that individuals outside of our particular domain, i.e. the private sector, the educational sector, all of those other sustainability sectors, all of those other nonprofits has taken this to a new level. So I just want to congratulate everybody that's participated in this. This is the bomb, all right? This is the bomb, I'm telling you. And Emily, I got to tell you, when we were on that stage at the Academy of Music and we were talking about that 10,000 jobs, I was shaking in my knees. I said, why in the world did I say that? But looks like we're going to get there. So I want to congratulate all of you, all board members, all of the people who are participating in this awesome program for your great, great work. Thank you so much. And next I'd like to introduce my colleague, who, like I, used to be a staffer in city council and figured out a way to get elected to these great jobs. But a person that, prior to being a staffer, actually had a good sense of that because he worked for a former gas commissioner, Councilwoman Tasco, and as a result of that, learned a whole lot about this particular issue and has been really great as our chair. I want to introduce to you Councilman Darrell Green.
Good morning. This is truly a great day, true partnership between a number of different organizations, a public-private partnership for us to be able to come here. I think the council president was a little bit modest in his comments because he really was a visionary in coming up with this concept of a Philadelphia Energy Authority. And also my colleague, Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown, as chair of the Committee on Environment, has also been pushing this issue of sustainability and other issues and concerns here in the city of Philadelphia. And I think today's announcement of these additional dollars coming to the city of Philadelphia, allowing us to really provide education opportunities and job and career opportunities for citizens in the city of Philadelphia, especially our young people, is so very important. Just doing some research, I learned one of the fastest growing jobs in the nation is PV installers. And so that's coming at a median income of about $40,000. So when you're giving the opportunity for young people to learn a skill that can provide them a trade and a career is very important, especially when you look at the fact that we have such a high level of poverty here in the city of Philadelphia. So having this type of really creative concept coming a number of years ago through the leadership of our council president, my colleague, Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown, as chair of the Committee on Environment, really demonstrates the things that we're doing going forward and really providing opportunities for young people here in the city of Philadelphia. So I'm really proud of the fact that we were able to get these dollars from the federal government. but also continues the message that Philadelphia is a sustainable city and will be one of the leading sustainable cities in the nation. Just recently, I believe on Monday, we were awarded part of the Bloomberg American Cities Climate Challenge, one of the top cities to receive funding to also promote sustainable efforts. So all of these efforts really demonstrate what we're doing as a city to really move forward to address sustainable energy solutions in our city, but also ways to address poverty by providing opportunities for young people to get introduced to not only a job, but also a career. So I want to thank all of the partners that are here, both from the public sector and the private sector, but also want to thank the leadership of my council colleagues moving this message forward so that way we can be successful in providing jobs and careers for our next and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, I want to introduce Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown, Chair of the Environment Committee, but also so much more for us. She's really been a champion of the work of the Energy Authority. So thank you so much, Councilwoman, for being here.
Good morning. This morning really is a big deal. Anytime we can do more and do better towards providing a pathway for underserved communities is a big deal. Now, as a former teacher, history is very, very important. We need to put this moment in context. I want to salute then Councilman Jim Kenney, now Mayor Kenney, who 12 years ago approached then Council President Anna Vernon to say we really should have a committee on the environment and sustainability. He, in fact, was the first chair of that committee. So facts are important. And then, for those of you who don't know, it was the President Clarke who saw the vision and the need for an energy authority. Did you know that? It's very, very important. So leadership has moved us to this place, and we're excited about it. Like music and art, love of nature is a common language that really does transcend political and social boundaries. So given that, we need to be real supportive and lift up partners. I'm biased as an educator, and that I do want to lift up and celebrate the work of the Philadelphia Education Fund. For those of you who may not know, they are amongst this list of partners who have been a centerpiece for making this morning real. And additionally, you should know that the Education Fund, through their college access centers, which I did not know, so I too am learning, that the college access centers are a part of the work that they do every year, with awarding $500,000 a year in scholarship aid with a special laser beam focus on STEM. It really does matter when there are like-minded folks who philosophically agree that this is a good thing to do. And as Councilman Green already stated, 1 in 50 new jobs in the United States are going to be in the solar industry. 1 in 50 new jobs. So for those of us who get it, for the business people in the room who want to ensure that young people get in the pipeline, we are eternally grateful. Kudos to the partnership and those who aligned themselves with PEA, which included Youth Build Philly, the Philadelphia Education Fund, as I mentioned, Solar States, and the Energy Coordinating Offices. Partnerships matter. Margaret Mead said it best, so I'll close with this. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. The environment is where we all meet. Congratulations to the partners.
I'm now going to introduce Scott Emmerich, Executive Director with Youth Build Philly.
Thanks, Laura. Good morning, everyone. Youth Build Philly is thrilled to be part of the Bright Solar Futures initiative and to be collaborating with an incredibly talented team of partners with deep industry relationships, really high-quality, hands-on curriculum instruction, and deep, meaningful supports for young people to not only access but actually succeed and thrive in solar career pathways. So some of you know Youth Build Philly has 26 years of experience in empowering young leaders across our city with a range of opportunities. Our model re-engages 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who previously left or got pushed out of high schools across Philadelphia, and we engage them through a really comprehensive mix of leadership development, career development, academics, and community service. That 26 years of programming has taught us two truths about career development that we think is really relevant to this initiative. The first truth is this, that talent is spread equally across our great city, but unfortunately opportunity is not yet spread equally in many industries for many Philadelphians. So we believe that this initiative represents a really critical opportunity to ensure that that opportunity gap that exists across racial and socioeconomical lines does not become a permanent feature of the solar industry. That the shared work in this initiative will help diversify the pipeline of talent that's coming into and leading in solar jobs. The second truth that we believe that there's a huge difference and gap between a job and a quality career pathway. That Youth Build is committed to this work in the Bright Solar Futures Initiative because we believe that it represents a quality career pathway that includes mentorship, it includes on-the-job training, it means family-sustaining wages and real opportunities for learning and career growth, all within a sector that represents growing demand for skilled workers. So we're a proud partner in this initiative because it addresses those two gaps, the opportunity gap for low-income young people of color in Philadelphia to access careers, and the gap between a job that's a job about a paycheck versus a career pathway. So real quickly, just want to describe Youth Build's role in the work. We will recruit, prepare, and refer and support our graduates for solar training with our amazing grant partners in the room. And then after graduates are placed in their training, really importantly, Youth Build Philly staff will continue to provide proactive mentoring, personal professional supports, transpasses, and assistance with a range of personal barriers that might otherwise keep young people from staying in and succeeding in careers. Our role in this initiative is really well aligned with our broader evolution of our program model to focus on sustainable construction. We already have a green building construction pathway. Now those graduates for the first time will have the opportunity to extend their building trades knowledge, their emerging knowledge about sustainability toward new solar installation career pathways that benefits not only themselves, but their families and their communities. So I will close with this final truth, that most career pathways that are quality career pathways in this city and this country are more accessible for young people who come from great privilege than for young people who come from great promise. That does not have to be that way. We at Youth Build are committed to initiatives like the Bright Solar Futures initiatives, and young people coming from our program that prove career pathways must, should, and can work for young people of great promise. So our sincere appreciation to Emily, to Laura, the Philadelphia Energy Authority, ECA, Council President Clarke, council members, and everyone who believes in this initiative, and more importantly, everyone who believes in the inherent potential of young people. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Scott. That was fantastic. I'm Laura Rigel, the solar manager for the Philadelphia Energy Authority. I'm going to share more about how we got here and what this grant means for the future of solar training in Philadelphia. What an amazing week for clean energy in Philly. The Philadelphia Energy Authority has been selected for an award of $1.25 million to scale up our training efforts. With this funding, we are setting out to establish the nation's first clean energy program of study for CTE students. And we'll be training an additional 100 students over the next 3 years. As Emily said, in 2016, we launched the Philadelphia Energy Campaign, which will create 10,000 jobs over 10 years. And we need Philadelphians to be ready to fill these positions. In 2017, we opened Solarize Philly as a group buying program to help Philadelphians go solar at home. 1 year later, Solarize Philly is the largest Solarize campaign in the country. This group buying initiative helped position Philadelphia as 4th in the country for solar growth in 2017 and led the state to list solar installer as a high priority occupation for Philadelphia County. Our installers, Solar State's one of them in the room, have hired 52 people since we launched the program last year and actually have job posts up right now that are open for applications. So go talk to JL and Caitlin if you're interested. Thank you. Yep. We heard the industry's call for trainees and took action to respond. Since 2017, we have trained 3 cohorts amounting to 53 students. You can see I'm actually pictured right behind Council President here. 3 cohorts of students. So we've worked with all of the partners that are standing with us here today to implement this pilot rounds of solar training program. So I should mention the school district connected us, including Charles Lewis, connected us with their students and offered us space in the Benjamin Franklin High School Renewable Energy Lab to make this training possible. Solar State, the energy coordinating agency, Steve here, and Philadelphia OIC, who's also represented, provided solar installation, energy efficiency, and job readiness instruction to our first 3 rounds of students. The Philadelphia Education Fund, Nancy Peter, provided coaching to our instruction team to get even better in the classroom. PICO stepped up, thank you, Tony, and Ramona also, as our leading sponsor of the program, supplemented by funds from Green Futures, the Department of Energy's Solar in Your Community Challenge, Siemens, and Solarize Philly. We partnered with the Philadelphia Youth Network, who's also in the room, Kelsey, thank you, to include us in the Work Ready program, which meant that our summer participants were actually paid for their time that they spent in the classroom or in internships in the field. With this $1.25 million award, we will turn up the volume on all of this work to prepare Philadelphia's young people to take advantage of these new jobs that we're talking about, creating in the clean energy sector. We will leverage this funding from the U.S. Department of Energy to create the nation's first clean energy program of study for district CTE students. PEA will work with the School District of Philadelphia to develop this clean energy program of study as a 3-year curriculum. This is actually expanding our number of training hours by a factor of 10. Between 2019 and 2021, we will offer our expanded curriculum to an additional 100 students from district CTE schools and from Youth Build Philly. If this program is approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Education, it will unlock funding for districts across the state to offer this curriculum to their own students. The solar industry already employs more Pennsylvanians than oil, gas, and coal combined. Our clean energy program of study will mean that Pennsylvania youth from all across the Commonwealth can plug into this growing solar industry. This opportunity to scale up our work is only possible thanks to our extensive network of partners. Thank you again to Youth Build Philly, the Philadelphia Education Fund, Solar States, and the Energy Coordinating Agency for saying yes to scaling up our work together. I also want to thank those who submitted letters of support for our application, including Superintendent Height from the School District of Philadelphia, Secretary Patrick McDonnell from Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, Christine Knapp, who's here with us today, Director of Sustainability for the city, State Representative Donna Bullock, and Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown. It's also important to acknowledge that we are joined today by Danielle Floyd, Chief Operating Officer for the School District of Philadelphia, and Megan Garner, who works with the school district's Green Futures plan. Green Futures is the district's first sustainability plan, which includes energy and efficiency goals and aims to prepare students for the next generation of green, sustainable career pathways. Danielle's leadership in the Capitol's office has made it possible for 3 high schools to have energy retrofits done as part of the Philadelphia Energy Campaign. Danielle and Megan, we are very much looking forward to working with your teams and Charles, your CTE team, to connect the dots between these important energy projects and CTE students who are looking for a 21st century career. As always, I want to especially thank Council President Clarke for making this all possible by kicking off the Philadelphia Energy Campaign in 2016 and for your persistent support. And of course to Councilman Green and Councilwoman Reynolds Brown for always being there with us through it all in the Energy Campaign. Last week, the United Nations reported that climate change is happening faster than we thought, and that we have 10 years to make immense changes in order to avoid catastrophic consequences. It's important to remember this as we're standing here. This week, there are many reasons to be hopeful. Philadelphia was selected for a $2 million award from Bloomberg Foundation to advance climate action. And now this Department of Energy funding means we will have the workforce to do it. We know that we will need to put thousands more people to work in clean energy to get the job done. This federal funding means that Philadelphia's young people will be the first in line to fill these new positions. They will lead the way in Philadelphia's urgent transition to a clean energy future. We are up against big challenges, but I'm proud that Philadelphia is leading the way forward. Thank you. We're now going to take a photo, so maybe Patty, we'll take a photo with the speakers who are able to stay. So come in closer. Spencer. Yeah. Maybe. front. Should we get in front of it? Let's do that. Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, really?
Good stuff.
Is that where you're headed next?
This
Oh,
is
thank
really,
you, Jen.
really pleased for you. I'm really proud of you because I remember early on when I met you, and it was sort of at the beginning stages. And look how it's really blown up.